most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Alright guys, back again. The internal combustion reactor. This is the 5-gallon size. I've redesigned it. We've got a charcoal starter, electric there. We've also got our air intake. Our 30-watt pump is in the box. We're gonna hook it up and do a test on the coil in a minute. Alright, so glowing beet red. Wood ignites almost immediately at 700. We'll make pyrophoric charred carbon at a certain temperature, right around about 400 there. Alright, so let's get this thing loaded up with wood. And we'll turn the air on. Alright, back with the old mall saw. We got some sawdust here. We got all our wood ready. This is what we're gonna burn. We got some trim, some sawdust, a little bit of light dry wood, old wood, and then this is fresh cut, some kind of oak. So yeah, kind of a mixture of woods. We got this here. Let's fire it up. It'll turn red. Well, let's just put everything in and then we'll fire it up. The whole shit and shebang weighs 26.5 pounds, so we'll figure it out later by subtracting. Alright, we're ready to fire it up. Got it pretty much loaded to the top. Let's grab the lid. Press it down. Okay, it's good. Lid on. Okay. Let's fire it up. Alright, I literally just fired it up. Our baseline temperature 41. We've got her going, boys. Alright guys, back again. About 3 minutes after startup. So it was smoking after just a few, maybe a minute. So it was already ignited. I turned the air on after about a minute and a half, and smoke immediately started coming out. So I'm just gonna leave it going. Now our baseline temperature is already up to 170. You probably can't see that, but let's see if you can. 180, it's going up. But yeah, this is a feature that's not boiling, that's reverberating. It's really cool patterns. If this gasket wasn't leaking, we could see it better, but it's super awesome. That's just a feature of my internal combustion reactor. Maybe we can see it a little better with this light. Let's see if we can see these reverberations. Really cool. So yeah, it's not boiling. That is just literally vibrating water, which is probably transferring energy to the air. The smoke you see is leaking because I need a fiberglass gasket, but it's very keen. This is fucking awesome. So I'm just gonna let this run. Probably unplug the igniter. So yeah, I'm upgrading this by, I'm gonna put a coil, called a cooling coil for brewing inside of here. That's going to be the isolation from the walls, because I noticed the bucket is getting red hot at times. So I just want to show you something else. So when you put the flame like that, literally eliminates the smoke. So get the smoke to go away completely. So what we're going to do, the final version, you'll duct this right into your wood stove if possible to burn this. Otherwise, I'm getting a catalytic converter for some experiments with a preheated catalytic converter, see if it can burn this stuff. If it doesn't, then maybe we'll have to filter it through water, kind of like a bong, and that will take the moisture. Alright, we're probably about 10 minutes in. We still got our patterns bubbling. So this is the cold side. It's only 168. But come over to this side, this is where the air is directly blowing at, I've always noticed. So you definitely got to get an upwards facing element to direct that heat. Now that was up to 700 degrees a little while ago, but I had the other thing hooked up, so the electric. So it's gradually dropping because I've unplugged the electric after 10 minutes. And we'll see if it can sustain or if we have to light it back up. But yeah, it was starting to blast some pretty good steam. So maybe we'll chimney ties this, put it up higher in the sky. I do that here in a minute. Just want to show you something really cool. You see that reverberation is so fucking cool. But look at the exhaust. It's barely above 60. 38. Like it warms up there. It's looking like it's about 80. Let me put this away and feel that. That's not even hardly hot. That's nuts. We got 300 degrees right about where the laser is, and we've got $387. So we're just gonna let this go and let her chooch. Get a good tar coating. Figure out how this one acts compared to the other one. Alright, back again, guys. It's an hour of operation. So there's the smoke coming out. I've rebuilt this thing. There's those patterns. Now that's not smoke leaking. That is steam. I smell a little tiny bit of smoke, but that's steam. I'll show you something very satisfying here real quick. If I can. Those patterns go away. And it's not super hot. You see my fingers submerged. So it's steamy. The strangest thing is this temperature, 125 the surface. So it's like cooling from all that movement. But that's not hot, but let's go down here to the hot spot. It's rising 520. So yeah, 560. 400 up here, 300. So yeah, we're getting some pretty hot temperatures. And I just built the joint, not leaking anywhere there. Saw the smoke pouring out. So it's late at night. I don't know if you know, I told you. So we don't have that heating element hooked up. I left that hooked up about 10 minutes so far. This is just a 30 watt pump that I've had for years. It's actually been running for almost 6 years continuously. My aquaponics pond, that's how I found out about these pumps. They're designed to push air through air stones. So they build a small amount of pressure, about 6 psi. Therefore, my internal combustion heater, I can pump this exhaust any direction I'd like. We're doing experiments with it. I'm gonna have a finalized heater design pretty soon, and it's gonna be awesome. So one thing I figured out, makes a decent amount of good smelling smoke. It smells great out here. You could use that for smoking food. Once you have this, obviously with a good coating, or you could alternatively, you could just duct this right into a wood stove, and that steam is flammable. That would just add extra heat to your wood stove. And then when I add this cooling circuit, they call it, for brewing, I'm going to put it inside. That'll stop these hot spots from occurring and suck some of that heat away from the sides. And that'll give me the option to use the bigger pump and duct some of the air through the coil to blow hot air, or you can hook a pump up and it will heat water on the circuit. It'll run water on the inside of this bucket while the reactor's running, and you'll get hot water. And remember, this thing runs, it's very efficient. It can run for many hours, actually days, on 1 can of wood, 10-15 pounds of wood. So this is probably one of the more efficient heaters that was ever made, I would assume, just from my data that I've gathered. This is a very good invention of mine. Internal combustion reactor. So I was working on a 55-gallon version. Found out there was flammable chemicals in there. So in the old drum, so I'm letting it drain out, and then we're gonna take some high temperature propane, my propane wine, and we're gonna burn that stuff out. I'm gonna get another tube of the 2000 degree stuff and a wood stove rope, some fiberglass rope for wood stoves. And I'm gonna put a gasket on that lid and a gasket on my other lid of my new one of these. And yeah, so stay tuned. I got hundreds and hundreds of experiments that I still need to perform. So if this kind of stuff floats your boat like it does mine, then yeah, let me know. Bleep bloop down below, or hit the thumbs up. I like it. Alright, well, I'll give you a follow-up video later on because it's pretty late. I'm just gonna probably let this run for a little while longer. I may be back, or maybe you'll just have to see what happened in the next video. See where we're at. What's getting used up. I don't know. We'll be back. Alright, so I shut it down exactly after 2 hours. So, yeah. Just see those patterns one more time before I go to bed, because it's so cool. Remember, I can stop. Alright guys, well, we'll look at what the combustion products look like after 2 hours. Yeah, water, you gotta be careful. That's what it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. I love it. It's so awesome. So you got that good coating of tar. I don't know why I set that in the grass, but yeah. So the steam and the products, this is 2 hours. Yeah, it constantly rains back down. That water like condenses it, and then it rains back down. As you can see, the wood is, it like, somehow it like chars the, you can see it like charcoalizes it, but it's still warm. Anyway, till next time, glad you could join me. Always, as always, leave a comment. Have a great day.